Okay, good morning, Year Nines. Today we are going to be building chords in the F major scale. Previously we've done C major. The F major scale has 7 notes as well. So starting with F and going up in alphabetical order, we have F as our first note, G will be our second note. Obviously we don't have H in music, so we go back to A in the alphabet. B flat, which is something that we'll talk about in a moment. C, D, and E will be our 7th note of the scale. What you guys need to do is you need to open up a new score in Noteflight. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this bass clef there just because we're going to be working in the treble clef only for today. Okay, if I click on my first rest there, and I'm going to create my first note, which is the F, of course. The duration of that note there is a little bit too short for me, so I'd like to create a nice long semi-breve, which is going to last for 4 beats, or 4 counts. Now the second note of the F major scale is going to be our G. So if I just use G on the keyboard, it's going to create my note there. And it's already working in semi-breves, which is great. If you're not sure about the notes of the F major scale, just have a look at the this image here, which I've provided for you guys. It should be in that folder that I've left for you. You can go through and have a look at the 7 notes that you guys need to put together. After a while, you should get pretty good at recognizing notes on this staff here. So I've got my F, G, and my next bar I'm going to need an A. Once again, going up in alphabetical order, B, C, D, and 7th note will be the E there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit play, and I'd just like you to listen just to see if any notes sound a little bit unusual, like they kind of don't belong in the scale. We'll identify what that note is, and we'll fix it up. So I'm going to hit P for play, or you can just use your play button down the bottom left there. And let's have a listen. Okay, so you may have heard or recognized that one of those notes did not quite sound right. And if you think it was this particular note here, which is the B, you would be correct. Now, in order to correct that note there so it sounds right to the ear, we are going to flatten that note. So we're going to make it slightly lower by 1 semitone. So if we have a look at this symbol here, which actually does look like a B, which is our flat, and we click on that, now it should sound much better. Okay. So with our F major scale, one particular note needs to be brought down, which is the B. What I'd like you guys to do next after you've built that F major scale is I'd like you to start building 3-note triads as we have done previously. So by clicking on the bottom note, also known as the root note, we can stack these notes in 3s. Once again, going through with my G chord, my A chord, A, C, and E, my B chord, B, flat, D, and F, C chord, be C, E, and G up the top there. Now we're getting out of the staff here. My D chord, stack, that's a high A there, and my E chord. Now this very, very high note up the top here is also a B, like this one. So this high B also needs to be flattened for the chords to sound correct. So I can go to this, what looks like a B once again, which is actually a flat. If I click on that particular button there, that's going to flatten that high B note there. So once again, if I hit P, that's going to go through and play, and we can have a listen to our new chord progression. Now there is something that I have missed. There's a mistake that I've made. Hopefully some of you may have picked that out by now, but just by listening to it, I can hear that something's not quite right. Now there is another B that I need to flatten in order for my chords to sound like an F major scale, and that B, I'll give you guys time to spot it, you may have done so already, is here in chord number 2, so I need to flatten that. And now that should sound just like we want it to. There we go. Okay.